Hello, welcome. So this month we have a very special cosplayer, Carolina Alvarado, and she was our very first Taylor recipient. So we're kind of having a little bit of celebration for 5 years of Flesh and Blood. So we have spoken to Carolina before, but we thought it would be a really cool idea to touch base with her and see how she feels about her journey so far. We thought we'd start with just a little bit of introduction of where she's from, and maybe a brief on how she found the game, and then we'll move on to all the really gritty questions. So Carolina, let us know how you found us.
Yeah. Well, first off, thank you so much for having me. And thank you so much for accommodating with my schedule. I know we were trying to figure out a day for me to come in. I've been so busy. I'm putting together my actual cosplay right now. I'm putting together my cosplay for Worlds coming up in, I'd like to say, like a week and a half. Yeah, I have to get that done in a week and a half, which is going to be really, really fun. It's splattered all over my counter right now. As I'm looking at it, it's really bad. It's really messy. But hi, in case you don't know me, thank you so much for clicking on the video. My name is Carolina Alvarado. I am a cosplayer, and I've been cosplaying ever since. I'd like to say I've been cosplaying just as long as just as long as I've been playing the game, maybe just a few months less than that. But when I first started playing Fab, I'd like to say maybe 6 months later, I immediately started cosplaying, which was really fun. But I'm from Springfield, Missouri. Hi, middle of America. Great. Absolutely nothing to do here. But thank God I found a hobby, I guess you can say. Yeah, so how I got into the game, I honestly have stopped thinking about it. It's almost as if it's been so long. It's been about 3 years, which doesn't seem long when you think about it, but my years are like 10 years on me, literally. Like after 6 months, I'm like, I don't remember that happening, but no. Yeah, so basically, let's talk about it. A person that I no longer talk to actually got me into the game, which is really funny. No longer in my life, but the game stayed in my life, which is bittersweet, I guess, like you like to say. I like to say people that you meet throughout your lives, they kind of just they leave something. Like they never just fully leave. They always leave something in your life, which is something to think about. But yeah, they got me into the game. We were talking one day and they're like, hey, I'd love if you could, come by, get you into this, blah, blah, blah. It's a trading card. Would you ever play trading card games with me? And I said, yeah, sure, I'll do it. He's like, okay, cool. It's next week. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we went, we played. I lost every single game. I cried because I was like, I'm so bad at this. I never want to play this ever again. I'm a very competitive person. Like I get very serious, especially during cosplay contests. I get super serious that I don't want to talk to anybody. It's like that serious to me. It's not even that serious. It's just I'm very competitive, and if I lose, I cry. But yeah, so like we went to an armory, and I just like lost every game, and I was like, I never want to play. And then I went back the next week. It was really funny. It was really funny. But yeah, like that person got me into the game, and that's basically how I got into it. I never stopped playing after that. My first calling was calling Dallas that October. So I started playing August 2021, and then my first calling was October 2021, and everyone was so mean to me, and I didn't know why. Like everyone was so mean to me. Like just I didn't know anybody there. I was just walking around. I kept getting weird looks. People were saying weird things about me, and all around there were just like people that were horrible, like just horrible people. I was like, damn, is this what it's like to be a woman playing trading cards? I was like, this is horrible. And I started crying and I said, I'm never going to one of these ever again. And then I went to Pro Tour. I was just like, why not? But yeah. Well, that's how I got into it. Don't know how I stayed after that, honestly. The more I look back at that calling, I'm just like, how the hell did I stay playing this game? I think it was out of spite, honestly.
Well, I'm glad glad you stayed around because yeah, trading card games, wow, they've never been in the past that accepting of females. I've played other games and yeah, I've been very fortunate with this
Yeah.
one.
And then
But yeah,
at calling Dallas, I understood why no females. Not a lot of females play. Not a lot of femme presenting people play card games. But I'd like to say that that's ever evolving and changing. Um, so that's good. But
yeah, yeah.
you know, I have a
Work
very
in
tough
progress.
skin. I have a very tough skin, so I'd like to think that nobody can mess with me, but God, people try to mess with me all the time, and it's really, really, really
Really hard.
irritating.
Yeah.
Irritating. Not even hard. Like, it's not that it even hurts my feelings. I'm just like, dude, you're annoying me today. I don't want to talk to you.
Mm.
I don't want to
Fair.
talk to you at all.
Shall we talk about your very first cosplay that we all saw
Yes.
exude confidence? How do you feel looking back at this cosplay? It's always been one that people come back to
Yeah.
and yeah.
I'm not sure why everybody loves it. I'm not sure why I won. I'm gonna be really honest with you. I I look back at it and I'm just like, God, what happened here? It kind of just looks like an explosion of fabric and foam of like the foam is not primed properly for painting. Like I can see all the details. I'm just like, you had a good idea, but you did not execute it correctly. I don't know what happened here. But like that first slideshow kind of is, I like to say, like I told you, is that first slideshow very much is a clear showing of my evolution in costume design and just execution in general. Also, clear evolution of the LSS photographers knowing my angles because oh my god, oh my god, are some of them so bad.
Yeah.
No, I literally for a while, no, I still do it actually. I have to take my own pictures because they just can't get my angles. Like they take it at a weird like an angle where I'm like this, like this. Like it's really bad actually. I think about it.
Yeah.
Like my angle is either head on or high. And they take it like right here. They take the angle here. I have a double chin, and then they post the raws. They never edit the pictures. I'm just like, why are you not editing these pictures? I don't understand why you're posting these raw. Like, sure, post a raw image while, like, okay, sure,
For the
post a
blog,
raw
yeah?
image for a top for no, not even for the blog. For the blog, never, no. If it's a posed image, you should always edit it. In photographer 101, never post your raws ever, but they always post the raws for cosplayers. Top 8 photos, sure, fine. It's a picture. You're just lining up 8 sweaty people into one picture. Sure. Cosplayers,
Yeah.
no, you can't do that. Like it looks so bad. Anyways, I'm not gonna get into that.
Yeah.
I
Well,
already got
I
into it,
am
but
I very much agree that seeing cosplays on pictures and seeing them in real life are always different anyway, because you
so
get to see
different.
so much
Yeah, no,
more when you see them in real life, right?
that's why I started just taking my own pictures. But in Amsterdam, they finally got my angles right. That the Balance of Justice pictures are probably like the best pictures that they have ever taken of me.
That is a
And
beautiful picture.
wow,
I love that picture. I
I
love
love
the
that
way that
picture.
the way you were standing with the moon right in between it's just perfect shot. It was a very
Yeah,
good shot, that Balance of Justice.
no. But going back to the Exude cosplay, I also do think I am just very hard on myself. I I recently went back because I'm going through all of my. I recently started on a new platform. It's called Blue Sky that everyone else is going on to. And I'm not leaving like any of my other ones. I'm just starting another social platform. You know, one of already 8 that I have. Yeah, so I recently went off through all of my cosplays. I'm just like, hate that one, hate that one. That one's ugly. Don't know why I did that one at all. Damn, why did I leave? It's really like, why did I leave the house looking like that? But I think it just is a clear evolution of that I am getting better, and I should hate them because I feel like I've gotten better and I can do better, which is good. I don't think you should look back at your cosplays and hate them, but I do feel like you should look back at your cosplays and say, "Oh, wow, that was cute, but I think I can do that better." If you can sit down and redo a cosplay and have it be 10 times better than what it was, I think that's a clear sign of your evolution. I like to look back at my Oldhim cosplay, basically. I've redone it 3 times. And I think that is my best cosplay I've ever done. Because you can clearly see the evolution 1, 2, and 3. Like, I have 3 cosplays. I've worn it 3 times, and I've updated it all 3 times. And you can clearly see the evolution of all 3. And I'll put one up here to show you. Like, I'll send you all of the pictures and we can show you. But that evolution is clear, you know? Like, I can see my progress. I like seeing my progress. I've only been cosplaying for 3 years or 2.5. I've only been cosplaying for about 2.5 years, and I feel like my progress is showing, but not as much as like the people that have been cosplaying since they were 13, you know? Like, there are 35-year-old cosplayers who've been cosplaying since they were 13, and obviously they're amazing, you know? Yeah, like they're insane. But yeah, I'm excited to see where my cosplay growth goes, and I don't think anybody should hate their cosplay, but I think that they should look at it and say, "Oh, that was cute. Now I need to make it better."
Yeah. Shall we? So, do you have a favorite cosplay? I know you've said that there's some that you look back and you're like, yuck. I need to change that. But did you have a cosplay that you really liked, like were connected with the character, or really like, is something that you really enjoyed doing?
I'd like to say probably my Oldhim cosplay. Not the first time that I wore it, but the second time that I wore it, when I finally made it my own. I think that's when I finally like did it. But it's not that I connect with the character. I do think I connected with the headcanon of like the headcanon lore of the character. I took this brooding old guardian man and turned a giant bear, you know, bear in the gay sense and not in the animal sense, if you know what I mean. But yeah, like, I don't see Oldhim as a serious character. I see Oldhim as, you know, a whore. So that's kind of like what I made. I made something where it's like, I'm going to embody a character. I'm going to make something out of a hero that I think has absolutely no personality in their lore. Like, their lore is just old wise man. And I'm just like, that's not him. Like, I think he's fun. I think he needs to be, if he were a woman, he would be this. And yeah, that's what I made. I was like, you know what? I'm going to sexualize this old man. I'm going to sexualize this old man. And that's what I did. I sexualized that old man. I like to say that my other favorite, when I look back, I actually don't see any problems with my chain cosplay. I would have done my makeup differently, but that's about it.
Chain, beautiful.
Incredibly clean. Incredibly clean. I still have my sides. Hold on. I have them over here. I just brought them out because they were under my bed. My bed is my storage. But like, this is the cleanest work I've ever done. Like, this is all hand sculpted. And I just, like, this is all hand sculpted by me. And I do think that is I think you show your mental health in costumes that you make, really. Like, every stroke has a story. Every stroke of detail has a story. And I like to think about this one. Because this one really did change my personal life. Like, it didn't change my life in cosplay senses. Like, I don't think it changed anything career-wise, but it really, like, doing that and going to Worlds and just the series of events that happened when I was there in my personal life and at home, it changed. Like, just going there changed my life. And I don't know what I would do if I didn't. Like, I don't know be if I didn't go. I don't know where I would be if I didn't play this game. I don't know where I would be if I didn't start cosplaying. And I started cosplaying out of spite because somebody told me I needed to get a hobby, even though I had 4 hobbies already. Like, I could have just, water off a duck's back and be like, you're wrong. I already have 4 hobbies. Like, I'm never home. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. But like, that's how I got into cosplay, is someone told me, well, you need to get a hobby. And I'm like, F you. I don't know if I can curse on here. But so I started cosplaying out of spite, and then I made the chain cosplay out of spite, and I went to Worlds out of spite. Like, and then I also went to the first Pro Tour out of spite because my first calling, everyone was mean to me, and I say, well, if they don't want me there, then I'm going to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I do everything out of spite, but also it works out for me. It's not like a toxic thing. It's like I'm gonna show you that I'm better than you type of thing. Yeah.
Prove you wrong. Prove you wrong. Yeah.
It's like the things that I do have start consequences, but not for me, baby. The consequences are on you because I'm doing this out of spite and I'm doing it well, and you're ruining your life. So it's like a thing like that.
Yeah. So on that note, what cosplay gave you the most challenges? Like, what cosplay did you almost put in the bin while working on it?
Slay for Worlds Barcelona. Slay for Worlds Barcelona gave me challenges build wise,
on the wire,
and transport wise. And yes, I finished it as I was leaving Vidor. Like, it was at 4:50 when I finally finished everything, and the cosplay contest was at 5:30. So, World Barcelona, Slay. Like, you can also see like where I was mentally in that is that I was just running. I was running from my problems, so I just kept making costumes. And I kept making them, and I kept making them, and I kept making them. And you can see, and you can't see from a picture, but in my head, I can see the mental block that I had when I was making that costume. And I never want to be in that mental block ever again. It was horrible. It's just like, I was hitting the ground running. I was running away from my problems, running away from my personal problems, that you can see it in that costume because the costume is falling. Well, not the costume itself, but the wings are falling apart. The wings were falling apart, and the motors weren't working properly, and the electronics. I was trying to do something that was so big, that was bigger than myself, and I should not have done that. I should have done something to make me happy, but I was doing something bigger than myself because I was trying to run away from the fact that I wanted to prove to myself that I was worthy of something, I think.
Yeah.
Then I was trying to do something elaborate, and honestly, doing something elaborate is not going to fix your mental health and the fact that you hate yourself, And so that was one.
And traveling with it cosplay would have been hard too, right?
It was hard. They lost my luggage. No, they quite literally lost my luggage. Like, I immediately got into Barcelona and started crying. Like, it was a whole thing. They lost all of my costume. They didn't lose my clothes, but they lost my costume. And so that was something. But yeah, I think that one was hard. Just build wise, everything wise, mental health wise. Like, it was just hard for me to get up out of bed and work on it, And so that's also something.
So, what has been your favorite material to work with? We know you worked a lot with foam and wire and fabric and so forth. So what's been your favorite? Yeah.
Last time I was here, it was steel wire. And I do feel like that's because where I was working on something that I wanted to be easier. I love cheat sheets. I love cheat codes. So like working with wire helps me cheat gravity, works with that. Like, I want something to float, I can use wire. And I still love wire. I love wire. I'm using wire on the costume that I'm using for Worlds right now, but in a smaller sense. I'm using it in a smaller sense. I'm trying to refine everything. I'm trying to make sure that whatever I bring it high quality. I don't want it to be elaborate. just for the sake of being elaborate. Like if I'm going to make a giant costume, I want it to be clean. I don't care if it's a giant costume, but I see like clear foam lines. Like I don't want to see stacked foam. I don't want to see I don't want to see any of your detail work to be unfinished. Like I don't believe in big costumes just for the sake of big costumes. So I am really going back to my roots right now. I'm going back into just learning not even the basic, but like the intermediate aspects of sewing. So I'm sewing all of my own clothes again, like down to a bodysuit or a sock. I will be sewing it myself. And that's a lot of work, really. But it's really fun to get used to these different textiles. I was getting used to PVC vinyl, like sewing PVC vinyl for a little bit. That's for a cosplay that I was bringing to Worlds. Now I'm not bringing it, so I last minute switched that up. So I only have like a week to finish this new costume, which is going to be really fun. But yeah, I'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm just really going back to my roots, and I'm having a lot of fun with high quality bridal satins and furs. I'm having a lot of fun with furs.
Furs are like, I found the most forgiving fabric because you can hide things with the fur a little bit.
Yeah, if you know how to glue them properly, you can hide. If you are sewing, oh God, don't even think about
it. So tips for beginners. I know it's been a long time since you've been a beginner, but I mean, you've seen a lot of people coming into cosplay. You've judged as well. And what do you want to give us a tip for beginners?
Tips for beginners. I'm gonna give you two answers. I'm gonna give you a beginner making your costume tip and your first contest tip. I think the beginner cosplay tip is don't second guess yourself and keep going, because you're going to hate yourself. Like you are going to hate yourself. You're going to do this. You're going to start building, and it's not even me being funny. You're going to start building something and you're going to look at it and you're probably going to throw it away immediately. Don't do that. Just keep going. Try to finish it. Try to finish that build. Try to finish everything. Don't restart and then restart and then restart and then restart. You're going to just quit. Just take one, figure it out, finish it. And then it's going to be a sloppy mess, but it's going to be finished. It's going to be painted. It's going to be primed. You're going to look at it and you're like, okay, cool. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
But it's going to be better. And I'm going to finish that. I'm going to paint it. I'm going to prime it. I'm going to sand it. I'm going to look at it. Okay, cool. I'm going to do it again. Paint, prime, sand. It's going to take a while, but you're going to find yourself that you are doing it again, doing it again, doing it again. And you're going to find a pattern of, you're just going to find a pattern. You're going to find a pattern of, I don't like to do it this way. I like to do it that way. You're just going to find yourself in the one thing. I don't even suggest making a bracer for a first one. I suggest working on, I suggest working on a leg armor first, honestly. I think working on a bracer is a little hard because you're like, oh, I don't know what to do and it's falling apart. I think leg armors are easier to work with. I think making a leg armor and a shoe. A leg armor and a shoe.
Yeah.
And then repeating that process and repeating that process. It's also easier to redo a leg armor than it is a bracer.
Yeah. Yeah. I always struggle with braces, so yeah, I get that.
Yeah. And so I like to say that I have no sewing tips. You're actually just on your own. Keep doing it. Get better. But when you're going into your first cosplay contest, go in assuming you're losing. Don't go in thinking, oh, I worked so hard on this. I'm definitely going to win. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that as an intermediate. You can do that as a professional. You can do that when you think that you are good enough and you think, oh, I've been doing this for years, blah, blah, blah. I don't go in thinking I'm going to win. I'm an intermediate. Like, I'm not going to automatically win, you know? But if it's your first cosplay, don't think you're better than everybody else.
Yeah,
Don't think
yeah.
you're better than any of the other beginners because you're in the same place.
Mm.
What are you gonna get? What are you gonna get out of being just a rude person? I was about to say mother lover, but a rude mother lover. For no reason. What do you gain out of that? Now you're just an asshole.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
you're just an asshole. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go on to the Twitter question. So Essa very kindly put 3 questions in. It says, "What have you learned since you started your cosplay journey?"
What have I learned? The funny answer is I've learned to go 3 hours without sleep, 3 days without sleep.
Yeah.
But I really can go 3 days without sleep. It's actually really bad for me. But what I have learned is to prioritize my health, honestly.
Mm.
I think that it took me a while where I was going with days without sleep. I wasn't eating correctly. I'm actually just I've started taking care of my body again and I feel better. I go to the gym for a few hours, maybe 2, 3, which is like a lot, but I go to the gym for about 2, 3 hours and then I come home and I work on cosplay. And I feel like I'm getting my work done more efficiently because I'm taking care of my body, I'm taking care of my mental health, and I'm doing things to take care of myself. And I think that's really important. I always tell other people, it's like you got to take care of yourself, you got to take care of your mental health, and I never do it for myself. And that's something that I really had to learn over these past like 3 months, honestly, is that I can't go days without sleeping. I can't work from 10 a.m. like on the weekends on my days off. I can't work from 9 a.m. to 4 a.m. Like I can't do that. I get a lot of work done, but my seams are going to be wonky. Everything's going to look bad. It's going to look bad because you're not sleeping, you're not focusing, you're not eating. You need to take care of yourself to get good workout. You need to work out, you know?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah. That is a very good thing to have learned from your journey. Because when
Yeah.
I heard about you having like no sleep, I was like, oh my God, how do you do that? So it's good to know
Yeah.
that you've learned that that's not necessarily the best thing.
It's not I mean, I still do it sometimes, but not to the extent that I used to. Like I'll be in bed by 2 a.m., you know?
Yeah, yeah. So the next part of the question he asks is, what cosplay is your favorite? Sorry, that you've done so far. So we kind of covered this one already. Hello, Cat.
This is Meep.
Meep.
Yeah. So my favorite, we have covered it, but
Yeah.
I'd like to say so far is just the one that I just did.
Yeah.
I think my favorite is always going to be the last one that I did.
Yeah.
So it was Balance of Justice. It was Fendel's Fighting Spirit. And then my next favorite one, I hope, is my new one. I hope I don't hate it. It's just a very fun cosplay. And I hope my favorite cosplays are always the ones that I did before.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is a thing. So well, what do you think of the evolution of cosplay contests over the last 5 years? So you've both competed and judged for some of the contests. And they seem to have come a long way. I haven't competed in as many competitions as you. And New Zealand is just, and Australia is very much different to the States, as you can contest to, because you've been at a couple of the New Zealand and Australian ones. So how do you feel about the evolution? And does it differ from countries? Because, I mean, you've been to European and American competitions.
Yeah, I feel like they're a lot more sanctioned in the US. We also don't have as many in the US. They're less lax. The ones that I've been to in the Australia and New Zealand region, they're very lax. Very, very,
Yeah.
very,
Yeah.
very lax. How many did I do in Europe? I did 2 in Europe. Those were also very much very sanctioned. They're a lot nicer. They're a lot nicer in Europe. At least to me, they are. I don't know them. They're still a little bit nicer to me. But I don't know. The last U.S. event that I went to, everyone was pretty mean to me. It was not a great feeling, but whatever. But I do feel like they made some new changes for Worlds this year, and I'm excited to see those. I'm excited to see everybody come in. I have been to a cosplay contest. I did judge a cosplay contest in Tokyo back in May, and I got to get to know a lot of the people there, a lot of the cosplayers, and they're so nice, and all of their cosplays are amazing. I'm really excited to see them. I really enjoy looking at the different aspects that different regions take priority of. Especially in Japan, they don't really take priority in the costumes, more so they take priority in their wigs. That's like one of their main thing is you can have a store-bought costume, but if your wig is absolutely amazing, then it doesn't matter, you know? That's like what their thing. They don't make costumes over there, really. They make wigs. And so that's really fun. But I'm excited to see it. I honestly wish I was just judging this cosplay contest. I was like, oh, I wish I was judging. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of problems. I don't really want to get into that. But I'm excited to see the evolution and the new things that are coming.
Yeah, we've come a long way from cosplay competitions, and I think it's largely thanks to us as cosplayers giving them input as well. When because they have asked us, you know, well, what do you think? Da da da. So, and by being here and participating, you've improved it as well because you know, as being part of that, and also helping with judging gives them somebody that knows what's going on judging, because that's always been a hard part for us, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I'm really just excited. I went on a little bit of a rant on Twitter, and I think that kind of sparked some things, and I don't know, it might have been like a little bit of a rage-filled rant, or just me being upset that everyone was so mean to me at that cosplay contest. It wasn't that they were mean to me, it's that they just kept giving me dirty looks, and I didn't understand why. But yeah, I'm just excited to see the evolution.
Yeah. Do you have any pieces that you want to show off? I mean, you did show us that beautiful detail on that chain earlier.
I really don't have anything here. We're gonna re-show this. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Actually, I have something really fun. Bear with me.
Oh, cool.
Boom. We're gonna show you evolution.
Yeah, nice.
So these are my first 3 cosplays.
Yeah.
This is the first bracer I have ever made, which is, I look back at it and I'm like, what did I do here? Why does it look like this? Yeah, so this is the first bracer I ever made. It looks like it will fall apart anytime soon. It's just, you know, it's just there. It's just there. It goes like all the way up here, but yeah, this is my Exude Confidence bracer.
Yeah.
And it is filled with dust, and I am so glad that this took me 3 days to make. How does this take? This would take me 30 minutes to make. Like, in this day and age, this would take me like 45 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, this took me 3 days. How? Obviously, we have the chain side, and you can see the stark contrast.
Yeah, so much
between
better.
These two.
Yeah, so much more detail. Yeah,
and I don't really preserve a lot of pieces. I usually recycle a lot.
Good.
I'm surprised I don't I'm surprised I haven't taken this apart and redone it. But yeah, I usually take everything apart and reuse the foam and resand everything down, repaint it. I don't just completely take something and repaint it and call it new, but I rip everything apart and restructure everything and then
Mm.
sand, paint, stuff like that. So I really do like to recycle a lot of my pieces. But I think this one's just a little bit too perfect
nice.
for me to. It's just too. It's too nice. There's just a lot happening here, and I'm so excited. And then this is my middle piece for Oldham that
Yeah.
I have yet to recycle because I love it so much. But this one mostly has a lot of. This is actually staining. It's not painting.
Oh,
Basically, it's just oil. Oh yeah, well, this is like oil staining, oil paint staining onto raw foam.
Wow.
And then all of this is throughout the entire costume is actually foam clay that I made look like snow. But
It looks really cool.
This is my all-time favorite. I've since retired it and took it apart for scraps, but I still have a few pieces. So if I ever wanted to just come back to it, I can.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to? So you're attending Worlds. What are you looking forward to most about Worlds? Like, is it the people, the cosplay, the game?
I think it's the people. I'm really excited to see my friends. I'm really excited to get out. There's not a lot to do. I have friends here, but there's not a lot to do in Missouri in general. So I'm really excited to just go out. I'm blessed to be able to leave once every month at least. So I get to be around, go around the world, and it's really fun. I'm really excited to go. I'm really excited to play. I'm really excited to meet new people. If you see me at Worlds, come up to me. I'm a talker. I look really mean. A lot of people say that I'm intimidating, but I'm not. Well, I am. Yeah, you should be scared of me. No, you honestly should. Like, you should be scared of me, but I'm not gonna be mean to you from off the cuff. But I mean, if you're an asshole, I'm gonna be mean to you.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta earn it.
But yeah, no, so if you see me at Worlds, come say hi. I won't bite. Maybe I will. I don't know. But yeah. So I'm really excited to see new people. I really like meeting new people. I'm just excited. I'm excited for the cosplay contest, but I'm also I'm not there to win. I'm kind of just there to show up, be another body.
Yeah, and I think that it's going to be a well-attended one, seeing all the people building. So it's going to be a great place to meet up with people again. And I can't wait to see the photos, seeing as I can't go, but it's going to be great. I hope.
Yeah, super excited.
Super excited. So do you have any socials that you'd like to share?
Yeah. You have me on Instagram, Carolina2Alva. That's where I post a lot of my personal stuff. I have started posting a lot of my build, just the stories. I post a lot of my builds on my stories, just giving you the 411 on what's happening in my life. I kind of just update that regularly. I post a lot of stories on there. So Carolina2Alva, Carolina, the letter 2, and then ALVA. I'm on Twitter. That's where you're gonna mostly find me under Bitchy Velour, BITCHYVELOUR. Velour. I misspell that. Anyways,
I can put that link in. I know that one. I can chuck that in the description for you.
And you can, I guess, also find me on Blue Sky now because I'm on there under the same name, bitchyvelour.bluesky.whatever.
Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, we got so I can pop things into the description, and so yeah, mostly on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah.
Mostly on Twitter and Instagram. And then I guess my Blue Sky is gonna be like a spam account. So ta-da! More of my personal stuff again.
I miss all the craziness on the X that you used to have. It was great.
I know. No, I know. I used to be very crazy on there, but I had to stop. Brand safety, I guess you can call it.
Brand safety, yeah. So thank you
Grandbaby.
so much. Thank you so much for being here, Carolina. So if you like
so much for
this,
having me.
please like it, follow and share this with people, and comment if you want specific people. We'll get them on. And thank you so much. Yep. And also get on and onto Twitter. We have a Shapeshifters Array Twitter page, and we're trying to highlight all cosplayers, including the lovely Carolina. So yeah, get on there and follow us over on X or Twitter or whatever we want to call the bloody place now. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.